We're going to be talking about something extremely important in Naruto Storm connections and in all Naruto Storm games. Naruto Storm 3, Naruto Storm 4, 2, Generations, Revolutions, all of that. Guys, hit the like button, watch the entire video, let me know what you think. This is going to revolutionize Storm games forever. So we're not going to recreate the wheel. The wheel's already been created. So what do I mean by that? When you want to buy a bicycle, you go to Walmart or you go to whatever store and you buy a bicycle and you have it. And those bicycles all have round wheels. You would never buy a bicycle with square wheels, would you? It would make no sense. It would be like going back into the Stone Ages, right? So the wheel's already been created. We're going to use that framework and the theories and principles to apply them to Storm games. So I decided to go straight to boxing, and we're going to talk about classifications and divisions of weight classes, and we're going to modify that into power levels or power classes. So we have heavyweight, lightweight, and middleweight. Those are going to be the three classes that we're going to use. There's actually about 17 classes, right? 4, 8, 12, 16, 17. We're not going to mess with those because every time you divide a class, your number of characters you can use gets highly limited. Okay? We're going to talk about why we're doing it, and we're going to talk about the importance of it. So, have you ever yourself said, or have you ever heard somebody tell you, wow, you're a tryhard, or wow, you're trash, or wow, you're a horrible person, or they swear at you, or they say something horrible about you, or they judge your playstyle? We want to get rid of this, and we want actually basically respect and freedom for all people who play this game who want to play it the way they want to play it. And this is why classes and divisions are important of heavyweight, middleweight, lightweight. If you look, the first classes ever created was from heavyweight, 1738, and 1738 here, lightweight. Those were the only classes, okay? In those years, they were made. And then later on, middleweight is important. I'll tell you why middleweight is important and all that later. What we want is we want all those really, really competitive players to enjoy being competitive, to love being competitive, right? The meta players, right? We call them meta players, but really they're heavyweight players because the weight class, weight limit is unlimited, right? So they're heavyweights, they're meta players. We're not going to call them meta players anymore. We can, but that's not right. What we do, like, you don't call heavyweight boxers meta boxers, right? Because meta also exists in lightweight and middleweight. Skill exists in middleweight and lightweight. So it's not just heavyweight players that are skilled. Imagine saying that only heavyweight players were skilled, but then how about Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor, right? In the UFC. Floyd Mayweather in boxing, Conor McGregor in the UFC, Bruce Lee in martial arts. Lightweights to middleweights, right? Somewhere in there. These guys are not heavyweights. They're not heavy hitters, right? But at the same time, Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, all those athletes, boxers, they're also skilled. We can talk about the intricacies of that later, but this is just explaining that skill exists everywhere. We should respect each other, make a more positive community, a more intelligent community, a community that understands what they're talking about, so that for many reasons. One, we don't want to be hateful, right, to anybody. Two, if we can help it, right? Like I don't like that. I don't like negativity. I like positive energy, but we also need to be smarter. A lot of times stupidity is just there, right? Being an idiot and stupidity is a consequence of being ignorant. It's not about actually being stupid or, an idiot. It's about being ignorant. So we all have to learn and put those comments, hit that like button, share this video with everybody. We all need to start using these terms, and I will do the work for you. Of course, put your input. We can change things as things go on. But thank God for John Jack Broughton, the legend himself. From 1703 to 1789, he is the man who was a boxer, by the way, at the time, who we would never know about this, right? if we didn't talk about it. He's the first one to, basically, there were loose rules, right? There were loose rules until he actually created weight classes. Why are weight classes important? Because power, every action has a reaction. If you have a more powerful thing, right, it's going to have a more powerful reaction. But if your character is limited and, it doesn't have a lot of power, then you're making small little reactions. And a lot of times, lightweights cannot compete with middleweights, let alone heavyweights. But no, people in the community don't see it that way. The people in the community just don't have an understanding for how, like, the team that they pick and how that affects other people. You can punch up if you want to, but you should never punch down. We don't want to punch down because we don't want to be bullies, and we want to be respected, not just have self-respect and have others respect us, because that's a great feeling. But we want other communities to respect us, to not just say, "Oh, that's an arena fighter. Oh, that's just a masher. Hey, you Naruto players are just mashers. All you do is press the circle button or the attack button." Right? You don't actually know how to do combos. Well, a long time ago, I also started that movement, Combo Kings, over 10 years ago, and I showed to the world, and we showed to the world. I gathered all the best combo players together, and we displayed them for everyone to see that we're not just a masher. Look at these beautiful combos. Some of these combos are more beautiful than traditional fighting games. So how can we just be a masher? How can we just be an arena fighter? Yes, it's a classification of the 3D environment in anime games and air dashing and all that. Fine. But we do not have... Look, defining leads to confining. And at the same time, yes, I'm defining certain things here in classes, but to a certain extent, just so that we can have fair play. How would you like it if you and, your brother or your cousin or your best friend, and say you guys are about the same. There's not much too different about you from how you are. There's a little bit differences, but you guys are, just say, hypothetically, that you're similar. But say every day I say, I want you to run this 100-meter sprint. Go to the field, go to the soccer field, and there's also a track field there. Go to the start line, and you are going to start at 0, and you have to run 100 meters, right? But your friend or cousin or best friend or whatever, or brother, they're going to start at the 25-meter mark. And you know what? Sometimes they'll start at the 50, depending how I feel. And they only have to run half. Say they start at the 50. They only have to run half the distance. But you have to always start at 100. And guess what? You win sometimes, but actually almost all the time, maybe all the time, you're going to lose because you're not even competing. You're comparing apples to oranges or apples to watermelons. God, Storm players literally compare apples to elephants. It's not even in the same realm of understanding. And the delusion and craziness is so rampant. It makes no sense. So please, let's create order out of the chaos, and let's actually think here for a second, guys. And let's come together and actually put these things into... When you're playing Storm, this is the lightweight division. This is just a work in progress. I will give you the full thing later. This is not the full thing. Okay, I have to go over it. These are lightweights, for sure. Jugo and Tsunade are lightweights. So is Sakura, okay? When Sakura competes with my Momoshiki team, or if my Sakura competes with a very good, skilled Momoshiki player, you're going to get bodied. It's just not comparable. Best example, Jiraiya and PTS Hinata. If this was a 2-man team and I fought a 3-man meta team or a heavyweight team with unlimited power, right? I will not win. Maybe I could because they have high skill ceilings. Maybe. They don't. But if they did, I could potentially win. But if I was fighting myself and I used this team and then my other self used like a 3-man Ishiki team with the strong supports, Shikamaru and Tamari, I will never win. It's the comparison of starting at 50 meters or even 75 meters and only having to do 25, whereas I have to do 100. You're never going to win. It's not competitive. So we will go over this, but now you understand these types of characters like Sage Mar, even though he has an unblockable Chidori, it's fine. We'll get into the specifics later. But okay, here's another good example. Obito, lightweight. Kushina, lightweight. Okay? Lightweight. All of this row for sure is lightweight. We'll talk about the others. But What would be a middleweight? Well, look, Amaterasu automatically puts you in middleweight because it trumps everything else, right? Heavyweights typically will have something that wastes multiple substitution bars in the jutsus, right? They'll waste multiple substitution bars, like, well, a perfect example is the Tamari and Shikamaru support jutsu, okay? We're looking at the character themselves, the type of jitsu they have, and the priority in their combos and the kit that they have, and how they're used as a support and how they're used as a main. Categorize them and put them in lightweight, middleweight, and heavyweight based off of their power level. No heavyweight should be competing with lightweights and thinking that they're better. This is bullying behavior. If a lightweight or middleweight wants to punch up and compete, that's fine, they can. Of course, in ranked, it's free. Everyone can do anything, but these are the social rules we're going to start to implement. I hope you have a fantastic day, an amazing day. If not, I hope it gets better for you soon.